gotta get dinner.
Oh no, not at all. That's
fine. I just realized it. Yeah, I gotta get.
Yeah.
And because I'm taking care of some stuff at home and everything.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, Ted, thanks for talking to us, and definitely.
Okay, great show, man. Thanks for having me, Hav.
Okay, we'll have you back, Ted.
Okay, bye.
Great. Goodbye. And I'm gonna let's get Josh on here. Joshua Kimball from Portland, Oregon. Josh, can you hear us?
Hi, Javier.
Hey, hey, Javi's fine, man. That's very friendly. Hey, nice to talk to you. After last time I saw you was I think in Wizard
World, yeah.
That's right. So, hey, how you enjoying Portland?
I love Portland. It's a surprisingly, it's kind of like a cartoonist's haven. It's really inspiring. There's, you throw a stone, you're going to hit a cartoonist.
Yeah, that's right. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It was exciting when I was up there for Stumptown because my friend showed me some article in the paper. Look, Hav, the mayor declared it, was it Comic Book Day or some Comic Book Weekend? I'm like, wow, that is totally officially awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. That's actually where we fell in love with the city was we booth at Stumptown. My fiance and I, the last year, not this last Stumptown that you were at, which is unfortunate because we should have been there, but it was really cool. We just fell totally in love with the city, because it's just people love comics. I just dropped off a bunch of comics yesterday at shops because I kind of wanted to see. I've never dropped off stuff on consignment before.
Oh, okay.
And so because the book I did sort of sold out, so I was doing the second printing, and I decided to do the second printing more DIY and just drop it off and not do diamond. Right. There were at least I probably Googled indie-friendly comic shops for about 5 minutes, and I found about 12 shops within a mile radius in the city.
Oh my gosh! I hope Floating World Comics was one of them.
Oh, Floating World was totally one of them. It's a great shop.
Yeah. I hope I think it's Jason. Yeah, he's got a great shop up there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful store. It's definitely one of those cities that makes you, as a cartoonist, I'm sure you know this, when you're doing indies, you start to kind of feel like nobody's reading. And it's really, it was really inspiring to sort of go to these shops. And not only that, a lot of them had ordered my book before, and that was really cool because, as you know, this, with indie comics, it's sort of you sell at least for me it was a couple thousand issues, and so it's that's 2,000 people in the entire world who've read my comic. So it's kind of cool that of that small amount, there were people here who've done it. It's really inspiring. So.
And the book Josh is talking about is the name just left Numb.
Oh yeah, I guess I should plug. So it's Numb. It's a 24-pager that I did. It's just a one-shot, and it was the first comic I ever did, and it was a couple years ago that I completed it and got the Xeric grant for it, which helped fund it. So
the Xeric grant, so people know, it's well, you can probably describe it better because you actually won some money there, Josh.
Yeah, Peter Liard, the creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which if you guys haven't, if the listeners haven't checked out, the early Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, totally check it out because it's just those comics were brilliant and political satire, and I think a lot of it got lost in the films. But anyhow, that guy is great, and he basically has a foundation where he gives indie comic creators money to self-publish. And it's a pretty competitive process, but it's a really good head start if you're looking to get into the industry. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful that I think it's so awesome that they started off, Peter Laird and his partner, who was the partner on Ninja Turtles?
Oh my goodness, Kevin.
I know, we're terrible. Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, created the Turtles, made a fortune off it, and it's awesome because it was a black and white indie comic, and, they put a lot of work into it. It got huge. Next thing you know, there's animated series, toys, and movies, and it's cool that Peter took a lot of his money Is it Peter or Kevin?
It's Peter who did, actually.
Yeah.
Kevin Eastman, I think, I'm not sure what he did with it, but
right. But Peter got a lot, used a lot of his money he earned, and investing it back in indie comics. So Josh was good enough to have warranted some of that, and they do it, I think, twice a year. So that's good. It's good to see that type of money being awarded to hardworking cartoonists. It gives them a leg up. Helps them do a print run or do some advertisement in the distributor catalog, and helps get more voices out. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and it definitely, helps you appreciate all the work that, for instance, when I met you at Wizard World and had seen how much work you put in, doing El Muerto, it just makes me respect it even more, having gone through the process and trying to get distribution and trying to get press, and it's a lot of work, a lot of legwork, after you finished the work of getting the comic done.
It is.
Yeah.
And I don't blame cartoonists, DIY artists who, they don't want to self-publish because it is too much work. And, I don't blame them for that. I mean, the important thing is doing the work. There's just a little streak in some of us. Doesn't make us better or anything, but there's a little stubborn streak or maybe control freak or whatever you want to call it. But, you know what, darn it, I'm going to see this through. I'm going to actually publish it, pay for the printing, and then I'm going to find the venues, the avenues of how to advertise it. And, when I started 10 years ago, there was a lot of footwork. It's like you did, Josh. Hey, go to the stores, go to the bookstores, knock on doors, do emails, whatever, or flyers. But now, well, look, we're talking on the podcast I started, and we're all blogging. We all got live journals and Facebook and MySpace, the internet.
Yeah, it's
a lot of things, and it's also another great tool for us comic creators.
Well, I love it because it's great because I know you mainly through MySpace after we met at a convention, but it's really cool because I can kind of keep tabs on what's going on with your career, and I mean it's just actually that comment that was just on the blog is really funny. You got to raise your baby right. I think he was talking about indie comics. It's like having a kid, I suppose.
It's like having the baby. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think that's actually It's funny, too, because I'm working with a publisher now, so maybe I'm one of those guys who copped out.
No, that's not copping out.
It's so much work, but also because I'm working on, a really bulk, project, and if I didn't have a publisher, I just don't know, how I would feasibly, handle the cost of, a graphic novel.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But which I hate using the term graphic novel. It's funny, you guys were talking, I think, about sort of people being embarrassed about calling things comics.
Yeah,
And I totally wish we could just call them fat comic books, but unfortunately, nobody, people I guess need the term to associate. But anyhow,
that's so funny you mentioned that because there's a friend of mine, a fellow cartoonist, Kevin Cross. He was going to try to make it on, but he's actually being interviewed on another podcast right now. But,
okay.
Yeah, but he has the same philosophy, and even more so, and he's going to stick with it. He's pretty crazy. He's all, everything we do they're called comics. So if you do a thin comic, again, I'm getting the name wrong, but they call them skinnies. If you do a big book, it's called a chubby. If you do a thick graphic novel, but it's really small, like manga, it's called a mini chubby. Yeah. That's not a graphic novel or illustrated literature, whatever. It is awesome.
Yeah.
He's up in Portland too, so you'll meet him, I'm sure.
Yeah, I met him. I actually met him at we went to this zine symposium, which was actually surprisingly kind of cool. I mean, there's a lot of kind of scary non-comics people there who sort of look at your work this isn't punk or indie enough or something.
Right.
But on the same note, it's a really I'm sure you know this too. It's sometimes you get surprised at conventions with how receptive people are at places you wouldn't expect. You'll do a book signing at a place where most people are authors of actual books and they'll be buying comic books. It's always really kind of I don't know, it seems like any convention you can get to is pretty helpful. Anyhow, sorry, I kind of ramble a lot, so.
No, that's what podcasts are for. They're not we don't have commercial or we don't have time limits. We do whatever we want, man. We're taking over